and I dropped it and all the wood broke, and this is glass and it survived. Friend hasn't moved from the couch. I've just been editing my tarot video for the weekend, which is actually pretty easy because it's usually a straight through shoot. I'm actually in the process of making a video about how I film and edit my videos, so that'll be coming up soon. But one of the reasons why I hadn't posted much lately was because I had that abscess thing on my throat, and during lockdown I couldn't really get proper medical treatment on it, so talking extra just wasn't high on my list of priorities, so I didn't post for a while to talk a bit about life in winter in a mobile home and some tips and tricks on how to get warm or stay warm, and also just show you a few of my projects that I've been working on. So you know me, I'm always into some project, fiddling around with something. So yeah, at the moment I'm making a new, I've still got to resand that and give it another coat of paint. That's a new locker door for my gas bottle locker, because the old one, the wood was a bit it had kind of gone weird. So I thought I'd make a new one since I had leftover plywood from when I did the floor in the battery locker. Anyway, yeah, so winter, it's interesting times. I think we spend more time inside trying to stay warm and things like that. Right now it's foggy and kind of gloomy out there. Yesterday was beautiful, but the nights have certainly been cold. Like yesterday morning I actually cheated. It was freezing when I woke up, and I lit the fire, and that was taking some time. So I turned the diesel heater on briefly for half an hour just to give it a boost, and that worked really well. And I'm not using the diesel heater at the moment, so because I'm using the fire, so it's good to give it a run anyway. But yeah, I'm really happy with my Chinese diesel heater. It was just over $300 on Trade Me. I bought it on Trade Me because I wanted to deal with somebody where I had some sort of comeback if, you know, it was faulty or something like that, rather than ordering it direct from China. But that was my choice. You can get them even cheaper on AliExpress and things like that. Friends of mine ordered theirs there, and theirs is running fine. They're on their second winter with theirs, and they use it as their heat source, so not like me who just uses it now and then. So yeah, it's certainly handy, but staying warm is important. I've also seen posts on Facebook and the groups and things, you know, people talking about, you know, heating with a flower pot on the gas element and things like that. And yeah, people used to do that all the time, and in general not many people died from carbon monoxide poisoning, but it's still a risk, you know, and it creates a lot of moisture. Having gas burning inside your space creates condensation. So yeah, if you're going to do that, please have a window open a little bit and don't fall asleep, because that's usually what undoes people with things like that. But yeah, the Chinese diesel heater I think is a good low cost option for heating. This was $300 if I'd bought one of the Webasto or Eberspecher heaters, and yes, I pronounce it the German way. It would have cost me about $4,000 I think for one that size. That's a 5 kilowatt one, and it cranks out heaps of heat. So yeah, they are a very good option if you want low cost, easy heating. It's brilliant, even if you haven't got a diesel vehicle. Mine came with a little tank, plastic tank, so you know, you can still use it. And people use them in cars and all sorts of things in really cold countries. So yeah, they're pretty good, pretty safe. So yeah, my little flatmate here, Miss Serafina, she's lying here. She's threatening to bite me at the moment, as she does. She's just blobbing out for winter. I think that's what she usually does, just rolls around on the couch when the fire's going and sleeps. So she doesn't mind as long as I keep it nice and warm for her. But a really important thing of keeping the heat in is curtains. Good curtains. These are all thermal curtains, and I just bought some cheap ones from the warehouse, ready-mades, and cut the bottoms off and hemmed them so that they fit the size of my windows. And that was a good easy way of doing it, and I didn't feel like making curtains from scratch, and they've lasted quite well. So they're doing okay. So yeah, but if you're in a little vehicle with a lot of windows, even double insulating your windows, I used to cut out camping mats that you can lie on, those rolls, or yoga mats if you can get them. Cut them to the shape of your window and put them behind the curtains, especially around your bed. It'll stop that cold from pooling, and kind of it feels like it's falling on you. I used to do that in my little Isuzu bus. I've heard Glad wrap too. I haven't tried that, but apparently that helps too. So yeah, insulation's key really. Another thing I did in my little bus was chuck another extra layer of underlay under the carpet, and it made it kind of soft and squishy, but it was quite nice. And it made it that little bit extra warm, so that was quite good. And here I don't have carpet, so I have wooden floors with just a couple of mats on it, but the floor's about that thick, so it's not too bad. Yeah, at the moment my fire area is a mess. That's one of the costs of having a fire. You end up with ash flying around, but I think it's worth it. I've got the kettle on it at the moment, so that's awesome. So I use less gas actually in winter because I have a fire. I love my fire, and I think fire is the ultimate if you've got the room and can do it, because it's dry heat, and I can bank that up before I go to bed and shut it all down, and it just ticks over all night because it's not a pot belly, it's a log burner, so it's got good air controls and stuff. It's made in Denmark or Norway or somewhere cold, so it's well made. So yeah, that works. The only thing is if I buy firewood, it is costly, but it's worth it. So yeah, and those are sort of my thoughts on keeping warm. Another good thing is slippers. I always wear slippers in winter. I never did when I lived in a house, but now I do, especially when I'm working at my computer, because the floor under my desk for some reason is cold. I did have a mat there, just one of those little $2 offcuts hemmed up from a carpet shop. But my lovely little pussycat and I went to the beach, and for some reason she didn't like toileting outside there. I think it might have been the trains. And it got a little bit, it needed changing, and I didn't have any more litter, so she had to wait a day. I always take number 2s out, but you know, she'd peed in it, and she sort of hung her bottom over the edge and peed all over that mat. And I had to throw it away. I cleaned it, I washed it. It was just like, nah. So I threw that away, so I haven't put one there. I just wear my slippers just in case she has another mishap like that. But yeah, the smell was horrendous. But yeah, keeping your floors covered, keeping your windows well insulated, things like that are really important. And getting outside. I find getting outside and getting moving just makes me feel so much better. When I come back inside, it's lovely, have a hot drink, just feel good after being outside and moving. And yeah, we all need vitamin D. It's essential for our immune health and things like that. I've just been pottering around and doing a few odds and sods, a few little jobs around the truck and stuff like that, and just working. To our park, and they've been busy. Luckily it's pretty quiet today. It was pretty noisy yesterday. I think they don't work weekends maybe, but they've cut down a lot of trees, and apparently there's still some more to be cut down. There's a whole lot of logs out there, so it's all very, very open now, isn't it? I do hope they're going to plant some nice trees, like some nice native trees. I mean, these old poplars, one of the tree surgeons who was here when one of them dropped a big branch on a caravan and squashed it a couple of years ago, he told me that poplars grow too fast here in New Zealand because it's warmer and they're not very strong trees. So they're probably not good ones, and you know, on windy days I'd look at all the vans and things parked under them and go, oh God. So yeah, that's my old door I took off, and I've put a new one on there that I made, which I don't think I'm that good at cutting out those weird little squiggly things. It's going to be fun one day when I want to replace all the plywood. And the top's a little bit weird, but that's because of the bottom is a little bit weird, but it'll do, it'll do. It's in much better shape than this one. Look at the state of this thing. It's actually really heavy and probably full of water and crap, and yeah, nah, not flash. So it's got a new little door on there. That door I put on when I got rammed by that truck up in Orewa. The plywood was kindly donated by Wally. And yeah, no, it was a sort of, I have to fix it on the side of the road because, yeah, it ripped the whole locker door that used to be there off and bent the corner pillar a little bit, and yeah, it was a bit of a mess. But I think that looks a bit better. It's not 100% because, yeah, she's not 100% truck. She's older. Like one day, seriously, I have to get in here and put new plywood on the sides. I mean, underneath it, it's all aluminium, so it's not about leaks really so much. It's just that the plywood's quite old there. Yeah, so I've been keeping paint on it, and that seems to be keeping it going, but yeah, it certainly has some issues. But anyway, it was good putting a new door on there because that other one was just revolting. So yeah, and there is my little friend. She's been helping. Look, the truck is getting scented, so it smells like hers. So yeah, I did this wall. I pulled all the stripped all the old linseed off it and gave it a good clean up because it was getting black, which I don't like. I don't want black walls. But there was a spice rack here and I dropped it and all the wood broke, and this is glass. And it survived. I'm going to throw it away. I don't want it. I don't need it. I just thought it was funny. But I got this mirror instead because I wanted a little mirror. And I really like this. It's cool. I got it from Mitre 10. So it's got a magnification side and a simple normal side, but it's quite handy if you need to see your eyebrows or something. I just don't think I put it in the brightest place. I could do with a bit more light there. But putting it here, there's, you know, knife racks and taps and a candle holder I never use. I could move that because I don't use it. I don't use candles anymore. Yeah. So anyway, this video has been a bit bits and pieces, but that's what my life's been like lately. And anyway, but if you enjoyed it, please give it a like. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Life is going to get more interesting again once the weather improves a little bit, that's for sure. Just sitting in here all day is not that exciting. And lots of love to you all, and see you all next time.